Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for today's panel on navigating first-year opportunities on campus. We are so excited for you to be joining us today. My name is Samuel Schallenberger. I am the Assistant Director for Student Development and Orientation in our College Programming and Orientation Office. We have been putting on these webinars all summer long, and this one, just like all of our webinars from the past several months, is being recorded and will be available on our website shortly after the conclusion of this panel. So if you need to step out, if you just want to watch it back again, perfectly fine. And we also have our Q&A function available throughout this presentation. So if you do have any questions, please do not leave without getting them answered. We have a few that we'll be asking that were submitted from the pre-registration form, and then we'll be heading on into the Q&A function following the conclusion of our presentation in just a moment. So anything that you have, feel free to throw it in there. We are joined today by Meredith Daw, Associate Vice President of Enrollment and Student Advancement, Jimmy Brown, the Director of Center for Leadership and Involvement, as well as Sarah Walter, our Executive Director of Study Abroad and Associate Dean for International Education. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to them and we will continue on with our presentation. Again, submit any questions that you like throughout that Q&A function.
Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to be with you this evening. I oversee the office that helps your student secure their post-graduation dreams. And we work from the very beginning of the college experience to help them find out what they're passionate about doing and then secure all the necessary experiences that they'll need to get that final post-graduation outcome. This is my 20th year at the University of Chicago, always working in career services. And we have a team of 55 professionals located in Itineraries Hall, which is centrally located on campus, designed to support your student right from the beginning. Our office helps students if they are trying to figure out what they want to do at graduation, as well as help them specialize in a particular career field. So when I think about our method at the University of Chicago, our method really begins on day one. That's part of our early intervention strategy, is to ensure that we are working with them from the very beginning of their college experience. We also have hired a team of specialists, people who have advanced degrees and have worked in industry for 10 plus years, who can bring their contacts and their knowledge of the field to their interactions with students. And then our other part of our philosophy is that each experience leads to another experience. We know this when we hire in our own jobs, that people who have gotten an opportunity, it helps them secure the next opportunity. So everything we do is based on helping students gain experience. When I talked about students gaining experience on day one, that's very important to us. And Samuel, actually, if you go back one slide, that means that we've been working with students all summer. So students were emailed their career advisor assignment at the beginning of August and had the opportunity to work with us on their first ever college level resume. And that's important for students to come in with an assessment of what they might be interested in and helping to frame the sets of experiences they've had in high school and translate it into a college format. We've also been running this entire week career exploration week programs where we have groups of students on treks with students all around the country, learning about different career fields and networking and having fun experiences, as well as gaining some professional experiences. And then during orientation week, students have a required meeting with this assigned career advisor. And this is an hour-and-a-half meeting that they'll be having. Well, again, they'll be getting to know each other, they're thinking about the year ahead in terms of the career map and all the different experiences they can have as first-year students at U Chicago. As well as this meeting, they are going to be participating in a program called Taking the Next Step in October. It's a Monday night in the dining hall. So students will go together in groups. We are going to shut down the dining hall experience except for this program, and there will be 3 seating, so students, regardless of their schedules, can participate in it, where we'll be talking students through what the year ahead looks like, but also what the summer looks like for students, because summer is a critical time for students to work on a language skill, get research experience, secure an internship, and at this program called Taking the Next Step, we'll talk through what these opportunities look like and how students can begin to prepare for this. So in addition to planning ahead and helping students from day one, We also have designed a series of pre-professional programs that help complement the liberal arts experience that our students are getting academically here at UChicago. And these programs were launched in 2005 with our very first program, our Careers in Business opportunity. And we've now grown it to include 13 programs across all these different fields: behavioral sciences, biology, engineering, entrepreneurship, healthcare, journalism, and creative writing. And essentially, they all work in a very similar fashion. Students are allowed to participate in more than one. These programs are run by industry specialists under career advancement. They also have a very strong connection to the graduate or professional school on campus that most closely relates to them. So for example, our business program works very closely with the Booth School of Business, where we work with their faculty and staff to provide opportunities to students. And students can take graduate level coursework at the business school, all for credit. Students love this opportunity to be taking advanced coursework, and they also get to meet business school students. They get to work with them not only in the classroom, but they serve as mentors to the undergraduate students and practice interviewers for the undergraduate students as well. And then every Wednesday night, we invite students to come to programming, where they're learning about the business field, as well as learning how they can be successful once they secure an internship or a full-time job within business. So we do programs like financial valuation, or putting together a proposal if you want to do an entrepreneurial pitch. All of these programs are designed to build affinity with each other, connections in business, and help them ultimately to secure an opportunity in the business field. 100% of the students in the business program secure phenomenal internships and full-time jobs at graduation. The other UChicago Careers in programs that I mentioned and that you can see at the top of the slide all work in a similar fashion, designed to be building teamwork, having a strong relationship with the career advisor, and also ensuring that students have incredibly strong outcomes. So students are starting early, and then when they're ready, they're exploring, and more specifically by participating in our careers and programs. But the final key to success for students is really giving them sets of experiences to try on a career path, build out their network, and have a resume boost. And so we've put together all of these sets of experiences where they're not very competitive to participate in them. We set aside opportunities specifically for UChicago students so that we can accommodate as many students as possible. And we see that it really makes a difference in helping our students be successful once they go on the market. The first program I wanted to talk about is the job shadowing program. And this is a 1 to 5 day experience where students can shadow an alum or a parent or employer anywhere in the world. We will match a student based on their preference and their geographic location. Many students choose to do this over winter or spring break or over the summer months. We even had some incoming first-year students have a job shadow experience this summer before they matriculated. What we find is that it's a great way for a student to figure out what they like and what they don't like. And these are in a range of industries. We have students shadowing physicians, we have students in corporations, and students at nonprofits and cultural institutions. They have very positive experiences, and every UChicago student that would like a job shadowing experience is guaranteed an opportunity. In addition to job shadowing, we run a program called the Career Trek program. Essentially, it's off-campus recruiting and exploration. This is by far our most popular program. We essentially organize trips around the world around an industry theme. So for example, we've gone to Helsinki and focused on K through 12 education because they're known for their phenomenal educational system. We've gone to New York and focused on financial services. We've gone down to Chile and focused on entrepreneurship. We travel to these sites during breaks and spend several days on the ground meeting with organizations within that industry vertical. And then in the evenings, we do networking receptions as well as cultural excursions. What we find is that students get a lot out of these trips. They are meeting people on the field and as well as doing recruiting. We send a resume book ahead of time so that if an organization is interested in connecting with one of our students while we're physically on site, they can do an interview or continue a conversation they might be having. It's been very helpful in helping our students land internships and full-time jobs at these organizations. We have a very high conversion rate of students who participate in a track with securing an opportunity with an employer on the track itinerary. All of the lodging, the meals, and the ground transportation are covered for every single student. We also have travel grants available to help with airfare. And in some cases, we have received donations from an organization or a donor who covers the flight and the total cost for every single student on the trip. And that includes our very popular trek to Seoul, Korea. Parents tend to ask me, is it hard to get on a trek? The answer is we try to make as many treks available to students as possible. We want to make sure that if a student applies to go on a trek, that we can accommodate them. So we just continue to add treks to ensure that students get an opportunity to participate. We do not limit the number of treks that students can go on. So if a student applies to a trek this year and they'd like to do it again their sophomore year, they're allowed to do that. We find that it's one of the most effective ways for us to build our set of employers around the world. So it's great from a recruiting perspective for many different reasons. I wanted to share a sample track itinerary so you can see how we maximize the days. So we always run multiple treks to Los Angeles a year. LA is an incredibly popular destination for our students. And you can see this particular trek to LA was focused on journalism, arts, and media. So we hit the ground running on day one with breakfast at Vice Media. Then we traveled to Showtime, where we have a tour and meeting in their conference room with their senior executives. Then 20th Century Fox, where we speak with alumni and their transition into arts and media and what they think is around the corner in the industry, and then finalize the day with a visit to Wong Duty, which is an ad agency in LA that was started by an alum of the university. And then in the evening, we're doing a lot of different fun activities and getting to socialize with alumni and employers in the area. We've run a very different track when we've gone to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In this case, it was really focused on the energy area, STEM, and business, really meeting with a host of different consulting firms, different villages focused on clean energy and how they're living sustainably in that area of the world, and gotten to have neat receptions there as well. Both of these treks have been incredibly popular, and we now run Dubai and Abu Dhabi every year because it's such a popular destination. What we find is that students who want to work overseas, but primarily have English as their language, this is a great place to go. And we also find that for international students, the opportunity to go to Abu Dhabi or Dubai after graduating to work for a multinational helps with work authorization to potentially return to the US or a different country. So for a host of reasons, we always have LA and Dubai on our track roster, but it's a great program for students to take advantage of as early as December of their first year. We also run a series of career competitions, which is another way for students to gain experience. These competitions give away prize money, students get to work on teams in a variety of different industry verticals, including our business case competition. We have a hackathon and coding challenge. We run a trading competition where students compete against students from MIT, Columbia, Penn, Harvard, and they're actually getting to trade and see who wins at the end with the most dollars raised. We do policy simulations with the CIA. It's a lot of fun and a great experience for students to add to their resume and also get to try on something new. And then we oversee student employment, which connects students with thousands of employment opportunities on campus. So it could be doing a research project with a faculty member at Booth. It could be working at our Ratner athletic facility. It could be assisting a faculty member in the law clinic at the law school. It could even be working with Dean Boyer, Dean of the college. He hires 2 undergraduate students each year to help him. Work study makes a lot of these positions possible. We give out more than $1 million in terms of opportunities for students. And student employment also extends to nonprofits in the Chicago area that allow students to connect with these nonprofits through student employment during the academic year. So lots of opportunities for students to gain experience while earning money as well. And then finally, our Jeff Metcalf program, which is our flagship internship program, helps provide over 4,100 paid internship opportunities for students. And internships are so important today for students to tell their story, to have a narrative about why they're enthusiastic about a career field, and to show that they're really committed and knowledgeable about a particular industry. And these students benefit from getting to get valuable experience and at the same time a paid opportunity. We have Metcalf internships in every industry and around the world. And if a student has an interest or geography that is not currently represented, we have the Metcalf grant program where we give students up to $5,000 to fund an experience that they've designed. So it's a great opportunity for our students. And the majority of college students have at least one Metcalf experience during their 4 years. What we see is that we have a lot of students going different places at the end of graduation. Essentially, 98% of our graduating class of 2022 had a plan in hand at the time of graduation. So not 6 months out or 3 months out, but 98% of students who walked across the stage had either accepted a full-time job or been accepted to a graduate professional school. These are some of our top employers that work with us year over year. A couple that I wanted to highlight is, we're a top school for McKinsey and BCG and Goldman Sachs. We've got a great new recruiting program for undergraduate students to go directly to work at law firms like Kirkland and Ellis. We've got many tech firms represented like Amazon and Microsoft. We see students go to work at cultural institutions like the Getty out in California or the Smithsonian. And we see students go into arts and media like working at ABC. Also wanted to mention that we're a top school for the CIA and the NSA. We have many students who want to work in policy and government. That's a popular track for our students, and they love coming to recruit University of Chicago students year over year. And in terms of graduate programs, these are from the class of 2022, the top 5 master's and Ph.D. destinations. You're going to see that the University of Chicago is represented on the next few slides, and that's because the University of Chicago really likes accepting University of Chicago undergraduate students to their graduate programs. And in fact, if you get your master's at the University of Chicago, you are automatically guaranteed a $15,000 Rudolph scholarship to do that. And that's what you're guaranteed. In many cases, our graduates get even a higher amount than $15,000. And then in terms of the law school destinations, we have a very high percentage of students getting accepted to law school. And in fact, the majority of our students are accepted to the top 10 law schools in the nation. Wanted to talk about a couple new programs. There are new junior deferral programs. Harvard and Columbia have junior deferral programs where students can apply as juniors and get up to full ride tuitions at those institutions. The University of Chicago Law School has a similar program that they're hoping to roll out. Right now, they offer up to 100% tuition remission for students who apply early in their 4th year. That's specifically for U Chicago students only. So it's a great way for our talented students to remain at the university and go to one of the top law schools in the country. Then in terms of medical schools, again, top medical schools are recruiting our students. We are double the national average in terms of our students gaining admittance to medical school. And you'll see that the University of Chicago is represented here as well. And we're just finishing up our Career Exploration Week program for students interested in going on to medical school and who are pre-med, where they had a great visit at Perelman School of Medicine out at UPenn and many of the Philadelphia area med schools. Philadelphia is a very popular destination for our students pursuing medical education. So as you can see, our students go on to do great things, and we're really excited to get to work with them in the years ahead. Parents can make a really big difference. I will just end by saying that if you are interested in hiring UChicago students or having us visit you on a track, we would love to connect with you. We're really appreciative of all the support we get from parents, and it really does work. Parents hire our students for internships and full-time jobs and help pay it forward. And we're excited to work with you in the years ahead. And now I'll transition over to my colleague.
Thanks, Meredith. As Samuel said, hi, everyone. My name is Jimmy Brown, and I have the pleasure of serving as the director for the Center for Leadership and Involvement here on campus. I'm going into my 11th year working at UChicago, and it's a very exciting time for all of us. My office, we work across campus to advise and support the activities of our recognized student organizations, which we say RSOs, as well as provide a wide portfolio of leadership development and social programming for students. As we're talking about navigating campus opportunities, I like to begin by mentioning that there are almost 400 recognized student organizations that your students can join. I like to refer to these RSOs as the living learning labs on campus, where students get to develop their personal leadership skills, perhaps apply some of the things that they're learning in the classroom, or maybe they're just looking to meet some new friends and try something new, right? Lots of opportunities there. You're welcome to explore and learn more about all of these RSOs online using our Blueprint portal. That's blueprint.uchicago.edu, which will have all the basic information and contacts for all the RSOs that are currently on campus. With so many of them on campus, it's really hard to believe that your students would not be able to find something that interests them. But if that happens to be the case, they are welcome to work with my team to submit an application to start their very own group. We are already hearing from first-year students who are eager to explore the RSO community, and many who have ideas for new ones that they would already like to create. One quick opportunity I want to highlight on this list in particular is our student government, which I get to work with directly over the course of the year. Our undergraduate student government consists of 5 representatives from each class of the college. Your students will learn more about student government when they get to campus in 2 weeks, and they'll get an opportunity to submit their information if they'd like to run as a class of 2026 representative, with elections happening pretty early in the quarter, right around the end of second week. The next opportunity I want to highlight this evening is one that your student will get notified about in their UChicago email right towards the start of the quarter. For the last 7 years, we have partnered with the college, career advancement, and the Gallup organization to provide a StrengthsQuest access code for every incoming first year and transfer student. This is an online leadership assessment tool, which we use as a foundation tool for most of our leadership development programming. Over the course of the year, they'll be invited to participate in a variety of conversations and programs to better understand their results and explore how they can leverage those identified leadership strengths in all the areas of campus life. For students who are considering the many ways of getting involved on campus, this assessment's really a great place to start having those conversations, be that with their academic advisor in the college, their career advisor through Meredith's office, or with one of our Center for Leadership and Involvement staff members in my team. Apart from the access to StrengthsQuest, there's a number of additional leadership programs that we offer. These programs are offered exclusively free of charge and are open to any student in the college. All of these are designed to help students explore their own personal leadership style. We like to say we're not asking the question, will you lead? But how will you lead while you're a UChicago student? And I want to highlight a few of those this evening. First, students can choose to attend a drop-in workshop to develop a particular leadership skill, whether that's better understanding how they contribute to a team, developing better communication skills, or practicing their conflict management. Both the Student Leadership Institute and the Women's Leadership Series are cohort-based programs. So students will need to apply and be accepted to participate in these either weekly or bi-weekly sessions, which are great. They give students an opportunity to meet with faculty and staff, alumni, local community members, all in small groups. There's also a student-run project component, which gives the students the opportunity to develop a program or service that they would like to see on campus, receive funding for that project, and then they work together to kind of bring that idea into fruition. We also offer a quarterly women's leadership book club for students who may not want to commit to weekly or bi-weekly meetings, but still be engaged in the leadership conversation. These books are provided, again, free of charge to students who register in advance. And the discussion is always led by a faculty or staff member who has a particular interest in the book that we've chosen. Usually that person chooses the book for us, so it's a pretty easy connection. Finally, the last piece I want to highlight are a few key programming things that will be coming up over the course of the year that we'll hope that you share with your students. They will get inundated with all this information as well, but sometimes it helps to get a little nudge from the folks. During orientation and during first week of class, there are 2 programs that are specifically focused on getting involved in the RSO community. First, the Blueprint program is a free lunch offered on the Friday of orientation. And we will have student government there, as well as a couple other RSOs on hand to talk with the students, all while they get to enjoy a great barbecue lunch. And then at the end of the first week of class is our traditional RSO fair, which is held on the main quads. This featured hundreds of RSOs and campus departments, and is truly a great way for students to see the wide variety of possibilities available for them while they're here. And then as we think ahead to winter and spring, there continues to be all kinds of programming available, whether that's 6 a.m. yoga to celebrate winter in Chicago during a program that we call Cuvia, or while trying to make sense of the 350 plus items that will be on this year's SCAV list for our infamous UChicago scavenger hunt in the spring. But really, regardless of where your students' interests may lie, you can trust that there will be opportunities for them to get involved while they are here. And we're very excited to welcome them in 2 weeks. So thank you again. I'm going to turn it over now to Sarah Walter to talk about all of the many study abroad opportunities available while you're at UChicago.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Hello, everybody. Greetings from Harper Memorial Library. It's a beautiful evening here on campus, and I hope you're well wherever you are. Thanks so much for joining us. I have been with the Office of Study Abroad for many, many years. And as a person whose first experience leaving the country was as an undergraduate study abroad experience, I can tell you that this work is incredibly meaningful to me. We're really thrilled that so many students at the University of Chicago take advantage of study abroad. Approximately half of all students representing the full range of majors will participate in one of our programs, either studying abroad for a quarter or a full academic year. And this is quite high for an institution of our profile. And one of the primary reasons that so many Chicago students study abroad is because our programs are an extension of the college curriculum, meaning these opportunities really reflect the reasons that students have sought out UChicago in the first place. We know that each quarter here is very valuable and students are very strategic about how they use this time. So the fact that our programs are taught by our faculty who are sharing their scholarship with students overseas means we aren't asking students to take a break from the college to study abroad. In terms of registration and financial aid, students in our programs stay enrolled at the University of Chicago, which means that their courses, credits, and grades automatically appear on their transcripts and financial aid eligibility is retained. This is a great help for students because they know before they sign up for a program how the courses will contribute to a major, a minor, or general education requirements, and they also know what it will cost. We have special funding available for Odyssey scholars to help meet out-of-pocket expenses. So our goal throughout is to make all of our programs academically and financially accessible to all undergraduates. We have a diverse range of 65 different programs across the globe. Our signature faculty-led programs include the Civilizations or CIV sequences, which allows students to complete the college's year-long general education requirement in civilization studies in a single quarter. So in these programs, a group of up to 25 students travels to notable cities with University of Chicago faculty who are tailoring each year's courses to take advantage of current museum exhibits, cultural events, local scholars, and their own research. So the philosophy behind these programs is to really wed the traditional University of Chicago style coursework with direct experience of a culture. And these programs are incredibly popular, so we continue to work with our faculty to expand them. We now have 22 different Civ programs in Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. In addition to the Civs, our faculty also teach quarter-long programs focusing on particular subjects like biological sciences, humanities, social sciences, math. So the structure of these programs is very similar, and students are earning credit in a major, a minor, or general elective credit, just depending on the program and the student's course of study. Like in the Civ programs, the faculty are really showing both through in-class work and excursions how their particular subject is understood in an international setting. And then we also have direct enrollment programs or exchange programs that allow students to take coursework at one of our partner universities abroad. Some of these require language fluency, but not all. We just established a new exchange partnership with the École Polytechnique, just outside of Paris, which, as I'm sure many of you know, is one of the grandes écoles of France. And they offer an entire English language undergraduate curriculum that's a really excellent opportunity for students in physics, computer science, chemistry. So we're continuing to expand those direct enrollment opportunities for students in hopes of providing opportunities for some who are maybe underrepresented in study abroad, like students who focus in the STEM fields. In addition to those study abroad offerings that take place during the academic year, the college also offers financial support to students who want to study language or conduct research abroad during the summer. So through our Summer International Travel Grant Program, students can identify a program or create their own experience and apply for awards of $5,000 to help offset their costs. We fund approximately 100 of these every summer, and that's about half of the applications received. So this first year is really a year for general exploration and information gathering. Very few students study abroad in their first year. There's sort of a handful of enterprising first year students who might find a spring quarter program that meets their needs. But for the most part, right now, students should be talking with their academic advisor about their goals for study abroad, taking into consideration their academic and personal interests, other activities that they're involved on campus, like sports, clubs, all of those amazing RSOs that Jimmy was talking about, internship plans, so they can establish a working timeline. And together they can slot in where study abroad would best fit. For most programs, students apply the year before they travel abroad. So if your student wanted to study abroad in their third year, which is most common, they would apply in their second year. Some programs are competitive, so it's helpful for students to have a few options in mind when they apply. And to help think through all of those options, we strongly recommend that first year students attend our information sessions that are happening throughout the autumn quarter. We're holding these both in person and online. And we'll review all of the different program types, the locations, we'll talk about the application process, financial aid, and our program coordinators will be on hand to answer any questions. So we'll have all of those dates available on our website, and we'll be sending out emails to students as well. Our office is open and students are welcome to make an appointment to meet with a program coordinator. They can come in Zoom, we can set up an appointment, they can come in person, we can set up an appointment on Zoom. But I think the important takeaway is that study abroad is very integrated into the undergraduate experience here. It's well supported by the institution and by the faculty. Lots of students across all majors participate, and we're here to work with students beginning in their first year to help them think through all those possibilities and make a thoughtful plan so they can find the right program for them at the right time. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And if you would like to snag a picture or a screenshot, every single department that presented to us today is accessible online and by phone. So is all listed conveniently on the screen for you. And like I mentioned before, this webinar is being recorded and will be posted later. So if you'd like to review the information or snag this information from that recording, you can feel free to do so. At this point, we're going to move into the question and answer portion of our panel today. So we will pose a few questions to our panelists, and if you have any additional, please go ahead and submit them through that Q&A function, and we'll be happy to field them. So we're going to start off with just understanding the organization of all of these opportunities. How do students keep track of all of them and discern which one or ones will be their best fit?
I mean, I'll start. I think so. First off, using the calendar feature on your phone is a great start, right? Get that planner going. I think that dates me when I say that, but somewhere where you can keep, like, there are a lot of opportunities. So making a note and tracking that is key. But how to discern and how to really find out about these, I would say the staff in the 3 offices that presented here are a great place to start. As you heard, you'll meet with the career advisor through Meredith's team, as well as the academic advisor in the college, and they are wonderfully informed and knowledgeable staff members who can help direct you in a particular area. Also, my team or Sarah's team are always on hand to kind of point students in the right direction. I would say a couple places to look. Blueprint, which I mentioned before, and I'll put the link in the chat box. A lot of RSOs will post their events there, as well as the university's events page, which is just simply events.uchicago.edu. There's also a Facebook page for the class that's managed by Samuel and the CPO, where a lot of opportunities will get posted now and even throughout their time here at UChicago. So all of those are really kind of quick and easy ways for students to hear about the variety of opportunities available for them on campus.
Thanks, Jimmy. Great answer. Yes, love a Google Calendar or an Outlook. It's a lifesaver. So students should get accustomed to it now. Next question is regarding internships. So how early or how late can a student know about an internship opportunity and confirmation in terms of planning their summer schedules?
That's a great question. Internship listings are live right now, believe it or not, for first-year students. It really can begin as early as October, November, but for our returning students, they're going through internship recruiting as early as September, October, but it goes all the way through the year. So some industries recruit in the fall, and then some industries recruit in the winter and the spring quarter. I'll give you a couple of examples. Government agencies tend to begin recruiting in the fall because students need to go through security clearances. And those opportunities at the CIA, Department of State, those are all opportunities that are listing their opportunities this quarter. We also see many of the financial services, consulting firms, and businesses posting positions in the fall, but they also tend to have opportunities spread out throughout the year. Opportunities at non-for-profits or a cultural institution or in medicine or STEM tend to be in the winter or the spring. The calendar of opportunities for internships is on our system called Handshake. It's the one-stop shop for students working with career services. They make their appointments in Handshake. They see every opportunity that's available. And then all of the student employment, TREC, shadowing, and internships and full-time jobs are also in the system. And they can see what the timeline looks like in there. I just saw a question that I might answer, Sam, if that's great. A question was, how do students access Handshake? Students access it using their CNET ID, which is their general UChicago password that they get. So it's the exact same ID and password that they use to create their dining account or to do anything that they want to do on campus. We do not have a separate login and password because we want to make it as easy for students to access as we can.
Perfect. Thanks, Meredith. And there's one more kind of career advancement question, and just sort of generally in terms of any sort of opportunity, how would you recommend students go about engaging with your office in terms of what is step one? What would you tell a student to do first if they're looking for opportunities as early as next summer?
Well, many students have been assigned to a career counselor based on industry preferences that they've shared with us, or just a rough idea of what they might like to do. This was information they may have shared in their college application, or we also invited students to fill out a survey at the end of spring semester of high school to let us know what they might be thinking about. We also have a category for they're still thinking about it. They don't know. They've got a lot of things they might be interested in. We've assigned them to career advisors that are really good at working with students who have, we're in the exploration phase. So the student can always reach out to their career advisor and say they'd like to get started. That career advisor is the hub, at least for the first and the second year, even if a student changes their mind. If they decide they want to pursue an opportunity, in this case, a question from a parent was around computer science, they'd begin working with Bree Kaplan, who is an alum of the college and a computer scientist herself, and she oversees our careers in computer science program and would be able to explain the different internships and opportunities available to students as early as their first year. We're running a trek actually to New York City for computer science students this December. So it was funny that we had a question about that from a parent. So there's lots of great ways for students to get involved, but starting with their career advisor that's been assigned to them is a really good start, regardless of the career path.
Fantastic. And one more just came in. You're very popular this evening. For jobs that are designated as work study, are some of them work study only? And how does a student figure that out when they're perusing their options?
So we have thousands of opportunities that aren't work study. So students, if they want to work on campus, I can say that there's more jobs than there are UChicago students available to fill those jobs. So any student, for the most part, that wants to work on campus, there is a great opportunity to get paid and gain that professional experience. The way Handshake works is based on the information in the student's profile, including information we're getting from financial aid. It will only show you opportunities that you're eligible for. So if a student is not work study eligible, they will not see those opportunities. So we do that match work for the student. If they see it in Handshake, they're eligible to apply for that opportunity. That is why our first year students, for example, won't see full-time opportunities. They'll see full-time opportunities when they're rising seniors in the college.
That's fantastic. Very straightforward. And we don't have any other questions in the Q&A function right now. So I'm going to toss, for the moment, one final one at each of you, if any of you want to take it on, since we have a captive audience of family members, parents, and guardians, and you have this breadth of experience at UChicago. What is a nugget of advice that you would give to a family member or a parent who is about to send their student to UChicago?
Jimmy, do you want to start?
Sure. This is a tough one. I would say first, the quarter system goes very quickly. So I think, giving a little bit of space is probably really good advice, because it can be a little overwhelming at first. But in the same vein, that means if they're calling to ask you for snacks or to send a little money so that they can go out for dinner or something, I would recommend doing it, because the transition can sometimes be hard into the quarter system.
And I guess I would just add, from my perspective over the many years working in the college, it's just to know that your student has a really wonderful array of resources available and colleagues who are really eager and ready to work with them. I think that one of the reasons that I've enjoyed working here so long is just the camaraderie and the collegiality and the dedication of all of the staff and the faculty who work here and are really here to serve the students. And I think just knowing that you can sort of exhale a sigh of relief, I hope, knowing that we're here and we're really focused on supporting students, reaching out to them. There are just so many opportunities. And as long as they approach us and pop in our door, we're happy to guide them through anything that they want to do.
Sarah, I think that was great advice. I am so lucky to work here with colleagues who care a lot, and we're happy to champion students, but also be here to support them when they're having challenges. we would like them to be successful, which means having a happy UChicago experience. One question came through about tracks and when students can participate. Samuel, are you okay if I go ahead and answer it as we close out? And so yes, first year students can participate in the December track program, and we just closed their access since we're going to explain that program to them during our mandatory orientation session with them, and then we'll open it up. We did not want the second, third, and fourth years to make a run on the December tracks before the first years knew about the program. So that will open up once the students have that first advising session.
Perfect. And if a student is not positive who their career advisor is, based on their email, who should they contact?
They can absolutely contact me, and I will type my email address in here. It's daw@uchicago.edu. We'll get back to you right away.
Perfect. Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you so much.
At this time, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, if you have any orientation related questions or any questions based on the departments that you saw today, all of their contact information is in the webinar, and it will be recorded and uploaded to our webpage in just a little bit. I will go ahead and throw that link in the chat one more time just so that you can see it. And a few friendly reminders as the summer winds down. You likely received a newsletter focused on family orientation today. That has all of our details for O Week and what you're able to participate in, as well as the family O Book. So that will include your schedule and a lot of helpful tidbits. And if you, for some reason, did not receive a single communication this summer, or if you just want to go back and refresh your memory, all of those communications, both to students and to family members, are available at that link that I just sent in the chat, all archived along with our webinars. We look forward to meeting family members on campus on September 21st and viewing opening convocation with you all, where students will process through campus, followed by our family reception specifically for members of the Chicago community who are sending your students off. So we are very excited to see you all. And once again, thank you to our panelists for joining us today, and everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you each.